The strip method in Python is used to trim the spaces from either side of the entire string. Let's consider an example. Let us pick word and we would add some spaces. Suppose this is my word hello and I want to remove all the spaces, and for this purpose the strip function is used. Now we can write word dot strip. When we execute this we get hello. Now the strip function has two variants as well. So for example, if I say word dot l strip, it would strip the characters from the left side. So the output would look something like this. It would remove all the space from the left side and it would retain any space which is present on the right side. If I were to do word dot r strip, it would do the reverse of this. It would trim all the characters from the right side, all the spaces from the right side, not characters, sorry, and it would retain the left spaces. So this is a distinction between this. Now let us have a look at strip with passing certain parameters. If I update my word as word is equal to now, what I want to do is I want to remove any instance of A, B and C, and I want only XYZ written. So you can do this via word.strip and we can pass ABC inside this. So when we execute this, it would return XYZ. Now you understood this that when we don't pass anything, it just trims empty spaces from the outer side. Let me clarify what I just said. If I say my word is if this is my word hello, so what I've done is I have added some spaces between the words as well, just for understanding. And we would say word.strip. So it would strip these spaces, the space between the word boundary and the string, but it would not strip the internal spaces. The space between HE and L would be as it is. The space between L and O would be as it is. Now let us have a look at a distinction. If I say my word is equal to A B C X Y Z, so W X Y Z A B C, and I pass word dot strip ABC. So what do you think what would be the output? First let us run and then we will have a look at why. So the output is still WXYZ. Now why this happens is when we call the strip function, what it does is it creates a set. It creates a set internally, creates a set with the passed parameters. So here the set would be A, B and C. Now if the word contains any occurrence of A, B and C, then we would strip it. For example, my word is, let me just copy this. So this is my word. Now what dot strip would do, it would first start from the left side and it would see A. So start from the left, it would see A. So A belongs to the set A, B and C, so it would strip. Then it would see A again, and the same thing. A belongs to the set A, B, C, and it would strip again. Then we see B. We have a B. B belongs to the set and we would strip that. Then our next input is C. Sorry if I went too fast. This is the first input, this is the second input, the A, and then we have a little letter B, which is the third input, and then for the fourth input we have C. And C also belongs, this is what I'm talking about, C also belongs to the set. Google Colab has generated the response which I needed, but we would do that. Now we encounter W. So see, we went from left, A, B, C and W. Now we will learn a new concept. W does not belong to the set of A, B and C. So we would not strip this. We would in fact stop. So we would stop at the occurrence of W. We would stop. And then we move to the right side. So let's just understand. After we move to the right side, we have A again, or rather we have C. We start from C, right? So we have C. C belongs to the set A, B and C. We start from the right end. We started from the left end for the left side, now we start from the right end. So we would strip that. Now we have B. B belongs to the set of A, B and C. So we would strip that. A belongs to the set ABC, so we would strip that as well. So we went from C, then B, then A. Now finally we move to Z. Now Z does not belong, right, to the set A, B and C. So we would not strip that. We won't strip Z and we would actually stop. I would stop right there, and so the response becomes where we stopped, between the places where we stopped. So the answer is, by answer I mean word dot strip with A, B, C as the parameters will be equal to the place where we stopped at the left, W, the place where we stopped at right, it is Z, and everything between that, W, X, Y, Z. So this is the detailed explanation. After this, let us update our knowledge by trying this. Let us pick the same example but add something in between as well. Now what we have done is we have added some letters which belong to the set ABC, and I would say word dot strip ABC. So what do you think, what would be the output? Pause the video, take a moment. I think you must have paused, and let us look at the output. It is WX ABC YZ. So what would strip method do? It would strip ABC, then we would pause at W. Then we would move to the right side. It would start stripping off from A, then we come to C, then C again, then B, then A, and we stop at the occurrence of Z. So because we stopped at W and Z, everything in between is covered. So we get W, X, A, B, C, Y, Z. Now let us modify this a little bit more to understand. So let's say I have a string like ABC, then we have W, X, A, then we have certain more strings S and D, and we have Y and Z. After that again we have A, X, a capital A, a small a, and let us check word.strip at ABC. So try once more for this. You see, we started, the left stripping starts from A is present in the set, so we move forward, then B, then C. We stop at the occurrence of N, a letter which is not present in the set, so it is W. Then we move to the right side. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yes, we move to the right side. From here we see a small a, we strip it, then we see a capital A. Now since this is a string, since what we have passed is a string, ABC is a string, right? So because ABC is a string, we won't consider a capital A. Strings are case sensitive, so capital A would not be stripped. And now a few corner cases which you must understand. Word, let me say word is equal to an empty string or something like this, and now we pass word dot strip with no parameters. We see an empty string. What happens is, this is an empty string, so all the space would be stripped off. There are no parameters, so all the space would be stripped off, and we would have an empty string. Another example, word is equal to hello, and we pass word dot strip hello. What do you think, what would be the output? It would be an empty string again. Why? Because if we use our logic, let me just say, why is this an empty string? By the way, when we say this, it means an empty string or nothing. It is nothing, but it is a string. Because why is it a string? Because the input is a string, so that is why the word dot strip output would also be a string. So word dot strip of hello is, so our set is, the set formed is H, E, L and O. Remember, a set contains only unique elements. So the repeating letter L is considered only once. So because you have two L's in hello, we would write only one. So the reason is, in strip we would check the string. We would start with left H. Is H present in my set? Yes, it is. So we strip it. Is E present in my set? Yes, it is. We strip that. Is L present? Yes, it is present in this set. By set I am talking about this set which we have over here. Is L present again? Yes, it is. Strip that. If O is present, yes, strip that. So this way we end up at stripping the entire string, and that is why we are written an empty string. Now a real world use case. So for example, Let us consider an example. You have built your backend using Python, and you have a form where user would input certain values. So let us create a list. User input values are, say for name, let us consider a name, and the user inputs something like this, extra spaces. Then let us consider their email address. Their email address is abc@gmail.com. Then their contact number. Their contact number is, let us say, something like this. Like the user has entered something wrong by mistake, and now what we want to do is we want the input to be normalized, and it must contain properly formatted values. So I want my name to be like this, Aryan, not something with a lot of spaces. I want my email to be abc@gmail.com or whatever that is entered, and I want my phone number to be 7711771177. This is an example. This is the dummy contact number, an example. I don't want the hashtags and everything. So what we can do is we can use, so this is a list, right? And I want to apply strip method to every element, so we will have to use a for loop to iterate. For input value in user input values, I would say for input value in user input values, we would apply the strip method to see input first. Okay, so we have designed a variable named input value, and input value will be passed to every element of the list. So first element is Aryan, second element is email, and third element is the mobile number. So input would pass to everything, and we would print that as well for better understanding of the code. So the input value is, for input value in user input values, we would say input value input value equal to input value dot strip. So we are storing the strip of the input value in input value. But what we don't want a normal strip, right? We don't just want to split at spaces. We also have to get rid of these hashtags and the dot and everything else. So we would pass a space as well. And then for debugging, for understanding and debugging, let us add a print statement. So, I'm sorry, it should be input value. So the print input value, this is our input, and we should add this at the top before we transform it, right? I'm sorry, I just let me just cut that. And paste, and then finally we print the input value, and we would say that the formatted input is input value. We pass that through an f string, and let us run this. See, the input is Aryan, The formatted input is Aryan. Email was always correct, but check the phone number. We had a lot of hashes and dots, and now we don't have them. We have a regular phone number, just how a number would look. So this can be implemented in a very huge application where you want the input to be standardized, to be normalized, and you can use the strip method anywhere. So we have discussed the strip method with its internal working, a few edge cases, and a sample real world use case. So this is it. Learn Python, love Python. Work is responsibility, work is love, work is fun. And I would like to say thank you